Now this was a fairly interesting game because this is one of the very few games I actually had to play without Shaquille O'Neal, and I mean, he is gone. You will see pretty early on that this guy he needs to lay out the cheeseburgers pretty much. Like, he can't support his own weight. And unfortunately the team, well, you'll see what happens. I want to go in and out of talking about the gameplay and talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, the Los Angeles Lakers, out of all places. Like, why do I care? Your boy is a native New Yorker. Why am I talking about a team on the other side of the continent who is at their most irrelevant point in history? And when guys start a game off with a three-pointer like that, that pretty much shows you his style of play. Every single time I see a guy try to do something like that, he's a spammer. Anyway, so over the last couple of years, the Lakers have been pretty bad, and we have seen in the past that when the Lakers try to put together a super team, like the Lakers circa 2004 with the 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup, they just don't win. Just like last year when they had the 4 future Hall of Famers in the starting lineup with Pau Gasol, Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant, and Steve Nash. I could have told you from the start that would not work out if Kobe was going to dominate the ball as often as he did. You are taking the ball away from a point guard who has more MVPs than you do. And by the way, Kobe does not deserve that one MVP he has, but that's a whole nother video, that's a whole nother rant. That would take up this entire video if I even went in on that. Last year, the Lakers should not have been inside of the playoffs. We all know that. We've seen the footage of how their miraculous comebacks kept happening that managed to barely get them into this 8th seed, which they got swept appropriately by the Spurs because they had no business being there as a barely functional team. Then, of course, their cockiness got in the way of them signing Dwight Howard, and they have one of the worst products they've ever had inside of their franchise history, which is a very, very long, successful franchise history. Now, can we get a quick update on Shaq?
Now let's check in with Doris Burke to see how Shaq's doing.
Thanks, Kev. I just talked with the home team's head athletic trainer. Unfortunately, guys, he said it doesn't look good. His night is over.
Oh, goodness. That's just terrible news indeed. Just like giving up plays like that is just terrible news indeed. And this guy is so pathetic. He's desperately going for a charge. The game is only 16-15. He's actually winning the game, and he's playing like this. So I'm going to have to take it out on him in the future. So we'll check back in a little later and see how bad the damage is going to get. Anyway, back to the Lakers. Now, we all know about what people are expecting to happen. They're going to somehow come in the top 3 in the lottery, and people are expecting them to snag Jabari Parker, sign Kevin Love, and Carmelo Anthony in the offseason, somehow magically, and let me just stop you right there because you sound ridiculous. First off, that's not a real roster. You're going to ask players to play out of position, which, oh my goodness! Hey, Grandmama a beast. That's not a real roster. That doesn't work. You guys are expecting Pau Gasol to suck this year because Kobe's not there. And then Kobe's supposed to come back as some sort of 27-point per game scorer at age 36 while coming off the worst injury you can probably have as a basketball player. The only person who successfully came back from that was Dominique Wilkins, and he didn't even last 2 seasons before he was out of the NBA. So, what are you guys, realistically, are you really expecting Kobe to come back, average 27? Pau Gasol is going to start playing like 2008, 2009 Pau Gasol, and then you guys are going to get Kevin Love. He's going to play center. He can't play defense on the guys he's already guarding. Now he's going to guard bigger guys. Forget about that. Then Jabari Parker is going to come in, play small forward, while him and Kobe are going to average 50 points together somehow in his rookie year and get you guys to the postseason, somehow win it all, and Kobe can retire with 2 championships, and who knows. Hey, maybe Phil Jackson might even quit the Knicks, leave $60 million on the table, and then come back just to coach you guys at age 70. I have no idea, but this is the crazy stuff I have to listen to and go through every single day on the internet. I don't understand why. Where do people get this like crazy groupthink from? And you guys know something sick's about to happen here. You guys knew something sick was about to happen there. And then Laker fans, they want to blame Steve Nash for getting his money. There's nothing wrong with Steve Nash getting his money. There's something wrong with Kobe getting that money, because why is it okay for Steve Nash to be honest, but for Kobe Bryant to get 27 or to get $48 million over the next 2 years while already having the injury and also knowing that he's not going to perform at that level? while crippling your ability to grab 3 maximum players, why is that a problem? Because if Steve Nash does it, he's a bad guy. But if Kobe does it, then it's, oh, Kobe deserves it. He did a lot of stuff when he was younger. And on top of that, he's the reason why they're getting a 20-year Time Warner deal, which is about what they say is, I think, $30 million a year. First off, let me break that down for you. $30 million a year might sound great now, but what do you really expect that to be in that 20th year? You know how fast money inflates? For instance, 30 years ago, right? The 1984 season, they didn't have a salary cap. They got it in 85. And the salary cap was $3.6 million, right? The average player is making about $330,000. Then 10 years later, in 1994, the average player is making $1.5, and the salary cap was only $15 million, right? 2004, they had $4.9 per player, and the salary cap was a low $43. Today, going into this season, the salary cap is $58 million, which is pretty much what it's been for the last 4 years. And the average player is still making $5. Kobe is getting 5 times the average player. Now, I'm not saying he's an average player, but at this point, that's ridiculous. It was ridiculous 3 years ago. It was ridiculous 4 years ago. His salary is so high, it's a handicap. He's crippling the Lakers. So I don't get why he's complaining so much when he's part of the problem, a big part of it. And this is the part of the game where the momentum system takes over. Look at all the crap that's going to happen. Check the score and check what's going to happen at the end. But back to the Lakers. Like I said, Kobe's part of the problem. And he may justify it by saying with the Lakers Time Warner deal how much money they're going to be getting. But if you go over the salary cap, which the NBA pretty much doesn't even have, because the Knicks were paying out $120 million less than 10 years ago, and also the Nets are paying out $100 million this year. If you go over the salary cap like they have going, all you got to do is pay a luxury tax. And you could say that $30 million might help, but the Nets are paying $80 million in luxury tax this year alone. How long do you think that Time Warner deal is going to last? And if you guys have just seen how fast and how much the players and the salaries increase, every year that $30 million is not going to be worth $30 million. 10 years from now, that $30 million is going to be the equivalent to paying, who knows, maybe 10. The NBA players on average could potentially be making $15 million a year for a Caron Butler level player 10 years from now. You don't know. That's just how money and then the league revenue and the salary CBA changes. That's how they go. And look at how fast Stephen Curry gets to the three-point line. If that's not momentum, I don't know what is. Because that makes his speed was 117 just now. That made no sense. But back to the video, the topic at hand. Even if the money had no inflationary value, just because of the fact of how the salary cap works, whether you're a repeat offender, your rate goes up every time, that still would not last. That money would go. Sure, Lakers, being in Los Angeles, they have a lot of endorsements, other things like that. They sell a lot of tickets, things like that. But it just is not, it's unrealistic to expect the things that people are saying for the Lakers in the future. What I'm expecting is a few years of being bad. Like, why is it so unrealistic to have an okay team for a little while? It's not going to be that long because the Lakers being in Los Angeles, you're going to attract free agents eventually. But the idea of you guys thinking that Russell Westbrook's going to be the point guard, Kobe at shooting guard, and then you got Jabari Parker small forward, got Kevin Love at power forward, and Pau Gasol at center. Like, that doesn't even make, it's mind-blowing. This isn't my team. This is real life. But speaking of my team, we're going to win this game by 11. It should have been like 20 or something like that, but you know our momentum system. But these are my thoughts on the Lakers. You know, feel free to get some discussion going. Let me know what you guys are thinking and what's going to happen after next year. I love to get feedback. I like to see what you guys have to say because you guys do bring up a lot of good points. So if there's some stuff I'm missing, let me know. All right?